Good morning, y'all. It's Timothy. I look really nice in this lighting. Holy shit. I gotta snap some pics in this. Look at that. Very cute. Purple used to be my favorite color. Ironically, I ended up realizing that it was just like a pre-chosen personality trait that my parents did for me. I didn't actually really like the color purple. I was just told that I did because it was convenient. And so, kind of like how a bunch of little girls are told that they like the color pink, but in really they might like the color green or blue, but no, they have to like pink because pink is feminine. I'd say that's like a reoccurring trait with me, is just like, you never really know where my personality starts and stops. Like, it's really hard to explain this sensation. There's too much fucking people here. I hate people. I'm taking a night walk in hopes to cool the brain down, and I got a knife because I'm not afraid to kill someone. That's another reason to take night walks. I know about my personality, but to take night walks with the intention to kill, then thankfully anyone who fucks with you is just a given opportunity. Yeah, this nigga go acting strange. Not to sound like a TikTok audio, but I really am just not sure what my personality is anymore. It's kind of changing like drastically, and I guess that's why I'm recording this video. If you're like, to me, why does your content go all over the place? One second you're laughing about a guy getting his braces stuck in your coochie and wanting to be pet like a dog, the next second you're spiraling on the internet. And the answer is, my page is kind of just dedicated to whatever may happen to me. Kind of like a running dialogue. I've done this for years, since the age of 12. If not from my blogs online, then on Twitter, and if not from Twitter, and this and that and this. Long story short, it's just kind of like, you never know what could happen. So let's say I decide to lose my mind. And then let's say 20 years from now, someone could be like, oh, there was this one chick on the internet who recorded like all the most interpersonal, most details of her life, because she knew deep down, I don't know, I wouldn't know whether to say people care about me or people don't care about me. I don't know which one is the reason for recording. Probably a little bit of both. Because there's no harm in me recording my life if no one really gives a shit about what I do. Which luckily I've had the benefit of for quite a while. But at the same time, there are people out there who want me alive. So even sometimes when I didn't want to record, I would record anyway, just so that they know, hey, okay, yes, all of last week was a spiral week. Now to me is having a good day and it's on the uptick, So that's kind of the vibe. So I guess it's kind of like, how in movies there's that scene, like in horror movies, right before like a character fully gets like corrupt and possessable, like where it's like they were normal at some point and then there's the possessed point, that weird midway point where you see the personality changes and the freaky shit going on, but you don't quite know it's there yet. That's kind of happening to me right now, and also that's just kind of like how my page is. Like, you can either see my page and go, wow, Tamia is doing so well when she was like recording videos at like 17 and 18, or maybe in the future you could be like, wow, Tamia was really going through it in her 20s, but then made it to her 60s and has an entirely different quality of life, where she was vulnerable and lovely and sweet and did the best she could. Or maybe something bad happens, but I'm not going to speak that into existence. Let's just say I'm always prepared. So if I were to go missing, then you'd already know the two people to suspect. But don't worry. This actually is also what this video is about. I ended things with my abusive fuck buddy, and I also ended things with my weird ex-partner. And I don't know how to feel. But the thing is, this only came because I had 2 periods in 1 month. And I have premenstrual dysphoric disorder, also known as premenstrual disastrous disorder. It's basically a mental and physical disability where your period is just like 10 times worse if you have like diagnosed depression, anxiety, PTSD, or other things. So my mind just goes fucking buck wild and makes me do really bad things sometimes that sadly I don't have any control over. And then right as I'm thinking, am I losing my mind or is the world going crazy? What the fuck is going on? That's usually when my period starts. And this all happened because I took a plan B with my fuck buddy. But then again, usually whenever I cut someone off during my PMDD phase, it's usually a good decision. Like, it's very rare that I actually regret cutting someone out of my life. because usually my subconscious and my body tells me, because I'll ignore my gut instincts, I'll ignore the dreams I have that subconsciously tell me to leave niggas alone, I'll ignore all the angel numbers and the signs, I'll ignore every single dating advice, I'll ignore every single, like, fucking history that is basically being repeated with someone toxic, and I'll just go, oh, you know what, this guy, I see potential in him. And despite me even talking on my own channel about, hey, never date a guy just for potential, date him for what he's doing in front of you and leave at the first red flag, guess what I still do? Because for some reason my autism doesn't let me ever fucking see a red flag. It lets me collect them, thinking, oh geez, when are we gonna get to the yellow ones and then the white ones, and eventually just no flags at all, just like green flags maybe. And then it never does. Sometimes it's green flag, sometimes it's a red flag, and then sometimes it's a black flag. And that's what my relationship with Morgan has been for a while. I was losing my mind. We usually have a fight like once a week, sometimes up to 3 or 4 times a week if you really want to get fucking crazy. But just in general, I don't feel good when I'm around him. Sometimes I do. Like, he makes my life convenient in certain ways. You know, he doesn't fucking cop howling. Because he has cops. Sorry, I don't like police officers for a lot of reasons. I don't know, let's just say, you know, Morgan's the type of guy that'll do something really fucking bad, like cross a boundary for the 36th time, or have me trapped in his car in like several hours worth of traffic, and just keep on insisting on like trying to touch me or talk to me when I'm telling him I'm overstimulated, and telling him that I feel bad and that I'm so close to a breakdown, and he just doesn't really respect me. He doesn't. He very much cares only about himself. But he does this thing where once I actually try to cut him off, then he's like, no, I'm sorry, here's roses, and then he'll get me roses 3 days out of the week. Well, only one of them was really nice. The second one was okay. It was just from the fucking face at his job. And the third one, yeah, bleh, same thing, but wilted. He barely wanted to give me that one. Or he'll offer to clean my room, and he'll clean my carpet for me. It actually got so bad that he actually, during one incident in the past like month or so, he grabbed my wrist so fucking hard that my wrist just like throbbed and ached endlessly for like an entire 24 hours. And he would not stop blowing up my phone and begging me to stay in contact with him. Things finally came to a head because I guess, I don't know, let's just say it's like a blessing in disguise, and also like the worst shit ever. I had, because I took the 2 Plan Bs, and I was not aware that I was going to have a second period at all, because I didn't expect to have another 2 fucking periods in 1 month. That's never happened whenever I've taken a Plan B. I don't know. Next thing you know, let's just say it was gonna be a nice night with Morgan, but somehow one thing led to another, and then the next thing you know, I'm slapping him in the face. Really fucking hard. Because he would not stop fucking grabbing me and touching me and condescending to me and gaslighting me and treating me like shit and shifting blame towards me, no matter the circumstances, or ignoring every fucking thing I said. And the weirdest thing about it is that I did not feel bad. I did not feel bad. No offense, I'm not really the type of person that just goes swinging at people or raging at people unprovoked. It takes a lot for me to ever get to that point, and it rarely fucking happens. Even when I think about, like, the worst thoughts ever, like, ooh, I should fucking kill someone. Guess what? This knife has never been used. Like, ever. I grin and bear it through a lot of shit. So do you know how bad it has to be where me, the most timid, fucking shy, reserved person ever, actually decides to go violent on someone? I'll put it this way. I'm not saying he deserved it, but I am saying he knows the type of person I am. And that sounds fucked up, but it's like, no, I'm going to put it this way. There have been multiple moments where I tried to kill myself with this exact knife in his car because of how bad things would get with him, where he would not stop, no matter what I fucking said, ever. I remember once, actually, I think it was actually that same night, I just told him that I wanted to go home because I was feeling mentally unstable, and that it was unsafe, and that we should end things, or at least just take a few fucking days of a break, like a 3 days break, to figure out if our relationship was healthy. It was absolutely not. And his response was to basically keep trying to force me back into his bed as much as possible, or force a kiss on me, this or that, until next thing you know, he's just screaming, fuck, 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 in his car over and over again, acting like he's gonna fucking kill himself, basically raging at me and raging at himself. And then his little tantrum worked because I ended up back at his place. I don't like it when people make me feel that way. It feels bad. I've been tripping all day, despite knowing that I'm on my period, and it's 2 periods in 1 month. Plus, I have a mental disability that's making it like PMS, but on fucking meth and crack and heroin. Except I'm not on any of those drugs. It's a metaphor. I'm saying like, it's like a fucking insane version of PMS, just like a million times worse. It leads to me being bad to people and harming people, and everything just is amplified in the worst ways possible. And that's what happened. But it finally helped me, because it kind of helped me realize that I need to cut this man off. And once you get to the point of violence, I hate to say it, it's rare that you can actually once you get to the point of being comfortable hitting someone, there's no turning back. We already had multiple points of verbal abuse and emotional abuse on both sides. Once it gets physical, there's no going back. And the scary thing about it is that he was going to entirely allow it. He keeps switching between fucking hating me for what I did a few days ago, and also telling me that he still loves me and actually would want me to hit him again. And I have fucking screenshots of all that if no one believes me. It's a very strange relationship, but I finally got the urge to just fucking end it. And even if it was through unconventional means and a potential personality break, let's just say I may have another disorder, but I don't talk about it much online for a lot of reasons. Personality disorders, people treat you differently. Let's just say I'm okay. I also cursed out my ex's family, and also my ex blocked me today because also during one of my spirals today, I was just spiraling all day for 2 days, 3 days in a row, maybe even all fucking week. I've been feeling like shit. And I just told my ex, even though he's heard it plenty of times, I just told him, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can ever forgive you for what you did. With the lying about statutory thing and the other things, I just don't think I can truly forgive you. And I could have said much worse, but it doesn't matter. I just restricted his Instagram, and then I checked a few hours later because I got nervous, maybe 8 hours later, and he blocked me. So I decided in my little manic, little insane little brain that the most appropriate thing I should do with my rage is curse out all of his family members. So I went to his mom's Instagram, and I told her all about how her sons are fucking failures and funky. I called her daughter a whore. I did a lot of things I'm not very proud. Well, no, I'm proud of them. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's one of those things where I personally feel happy about what I did. Once I say it out loud, in a way that I can actually hear what I'm saying, it's oh yeah, to the outside person, I sound like a piece of shit. But at the same time, I was trying to be a piece of shit, so can I really be mad if someone sees me as one? Yeah. Let's see how much time I got. I still got time. And I don't feel bad about that either. One would think that I should, but I don't. I don't feel sad or bad at all. I feel fucking happy. I feel like a weight was lifted off my chest. I feel like a chakra was fucking opened. I feel good. I feel excellent. I feel excelsior, and I want to fuck because I'm so proud of myself. I finally got the nerve to leave an abusive ex or abusive fuck buddy. And then with my ex, the one who lied about so much shit. And that absolutely is the reason we broke up. And he never defended me against his family. I'm so glad that I just finally got to say what I held inside of me for an entire year long. You know what's scary? I don't remember any of the good shit about our relationship anymore. Aside from the photos we have, I probably wouldn't remember most of it. It's one of those things where it's a relationship where you think you're happy until you actually go back on some of the stuff you wrote or documented, and then it's fuck, that was awful. Right, you should not have a man who defends his older brother staring at your tits and does nothing about it. You should not you should not be with a man who claims you're not worth a free fucking date. You should not be with a man who thinks that he's the exception for your hard-earned standards and boundaries and what you do and do not want in a man. And that applies to Morgan too. If anything, usually when I got mad at Morgan, I get mad at Liam because, no offense, they both like to pretend they're different from the other. Liam thinks Morgan is some massive fucking asshole, and Morgan thinks Liam is a pathetic piece of shit who's stagnant and doesn't like to try. But deep down, they're both the same person, just in different fonts. One's muscular, one's skinny, one's blonde, one's brunette. But at the same time, they're just both edgelord fucking weebs who can't dress. That's all they are. They ain't got shit going for them in different ways. And then they both did the same thing. As soon as I started dating other people, that's when they wanted to try. But when they actually had me and had my full love and attention and affection, that's when they started being on some ugly, stupid fuck shit. And you know what? That's probably why I don't feel bad about any of this. Because Morgan saw me cry every fucking day for months. Didn't do shit. He could still see me cry to this day and will not do anything except think that the power of his dick could make me feel better, or that I should just bend to his whim, or just ignore whatever I'm fucking saying and feeling and just ghost and sugarcoat everything and pretend everything I fucking know is happening isn't happening, so that we could have a good relationship and I should just repress my thoughts like how I repressed all the bad with my ex. And now ironically I'm repressing all the good with my ex because I'm realizing how shitty that relationship ended up being. Morgan is the same. I chose the same guy, maybe worse. Liam likes to pretend he's not an asshole. He likes to pretend that he's some sweetheart, and maybe he is. Sometimes I worried about if I was really deserving of him, but deep down I knew, no, I deserved better. He was always like to have me. I'm not even saying that in a narcissistic way. It's just like anyone who would look at him would just know. Like, oh, why is this pretty girl who has her whole life ahead of her and so much ambition and talent losing her fucking mind over a white boy that slouches and has to be nagged to brush his teeth every fucking day and to take her out, and he can't fucking drive and he's 25. Exactly. He's a lame ass bitch, and Morgan's no different. Morgan can drive, sure, but he has actually less emotional maturity. He has the emotional maturity of maybe a fucking 14-year-old or 4-year-old at worst, from all the little tantrums he throws, the little passive-aggressive ways that he gets, and just his lame-ass, bitch-ass nigga attitude. I think I need to stop dating for a while. Like, let's just say I don't want to keep attracting immature, lame-ass men who could potentially hurt me again. That upsets me. I'm getting really disgusted with men in general, and I've been doing more bad things lately, so I don't know. I'm just feeling weird, and I can't wait for my period to wrap up, and for me to finally get to the point where one day I wake up and it's like, holy shit, it's been however long since I talked to Liam, and I haven't thought about him in weeks, or months. Or, oh wow, here I was caring about Morgan, but somehow he's just been talking to himself in my DMs on Etsy. And I have him reported for spam, so he's just talking to himself in my spam folder, basically in my email. And I'm not stressed, I'm not crying, I'm not anything over a man. I really wish the version of myself that I used to be. I know I say that often, but there's different versions of myself that have existed, you know. And I don't know, I really thought that I was going to have my life together. I thought I could use these two men. They deserve it, they've hurt me, and they don't feel shame about me, did. And they actually wanted to be used. But I didn't utilize them properly because my personalities and my brain would keep fighting between, oh, don't use them. They're so sweet and caring and thoughtful, and all they want is you, versus bullshit. You told them you didn't want to be monogamous, and they kept trying to think that they were the exception and getting mad at you for your pre-explained dating life. You kept telling them that you were only going to go for men who actually put in effort, like dates and thoughtfulness and paying the bill for dates as well. And then some of them didn't, and then would get mad over that. Some of them would feel entitled for pussy, and then let's say something happened, like, oh, let's go out. Yeah, this happened with Liam. And it really led to a very bad breakdown with him where I almost got violent, but nothing happened. But I did scream a lot, and it was his first time seeing me that terrifying. He always underestimated my mental instability. Anyway, no matter how much I could tell him, he would not believe it. Because, no offense, he was just one of those dudes who liked to believe whatever he wanted to believe. To put me into a box. He never saw me as a person, neither did Morgan. Let me stay on topic. What happened with Liam? We were gonna meet up. He came super fucking late to the date we had. He arrived. I was like, so, how are you feeling? Because he was supposed to meet at like 1 or something. He showed up at like 3 or 4. I talked to him beforehand. I was like, oh, we should get food and then go to this movie. We eat food, we split the bill, and I was already like, ew, at that, because it was like a happy hour too. All the food was like $7 maximum. and we were gonna split appetizers and shit. So it was just like you in so many ways. But whatever, split the bill, whatever. We were going to go to the movies, and then he just straight up was like, "Oh, actually, is it okay if we don't watch a movie? I don't feel like it today." Except he said it in that. I don't think he even said it straight up. I think he did it in that whiny ass. "Oh, a movie? Oh, I didn't know we were going to a movie. Oh, you did say you were going to a movie? Oh, well." Like, he never can just be a man and say straight up that he doesn't want to do something. That's not him. He wants to bitch and moan and do sad little pouty little faces like he's Shirley fucking Temple, sticking his fucking lip out like a little sad little baby, despite being grown. That shit's batting his fucking eyelashes with his little sad puppy dog eyes until eventually he makes someone else look like, make him not look like the bad guy by saying, "Okay, fine, we don't have to do it because you clearly don't want to do it." That's what he does, and it's annoying as shit. But I will say this. Okay, my phone is dying. I gotta wrap this up. He fucking had a lot of nerve. Because then when we got to my place, we cuddled and stuff naked, but we didn't have sex. And then he started crying and shit, like a little bitch on some, "Oh, well, I don't know. I just have been going through a lot. My dog died. I feel sad." I don't give a fuck. Or I felt sad that his dog died. That's understandable. He loved his dog. Had it for a good portion of his life, like 15 years. But at the same time, nigga, I don't have to give you pussy. Because it's like, congratulations. You can't, like, you were fucking awkward. Like, I was even trying to, at the dinner, still make conversation and have a good time and do this and do that. He wasn't doing none of that. And he wasn't sad about, it wasn't even on some, he was sad about his dog shit either, at least from what I recall. It was just because he didn't feel like talking. He didn't like to make a fucking effort. And he did that multiple times at the same restaurant. So now every time I go to that restaurant, I think, no, this is the place where Liam always fucking finds a way to ruin our time at. Despite the food. I don't know. I'm calm. I'm just full of rage. I might scream later. I'd scream now, but the bus is halted. So I have to wait to scream. Ugh, I'm about to throw up. It's probably because I'm walking in circles. Alright, I'll put it like this. Lame ass, bitch ass nigga, sorry. He didn't put in any effort to try to woo me or make me happy, but then felt still entitled to pussy. And Morgan does similar in the sense of that's actually what we got into a fight about recently, like just like yesterday night. He tried to pick me up on some, "Oh, I don't care that you put your hands on me, I still want to see you," and he would not stop harassing me all fucking day. So I said, "Fine, do you need one more hang out just to see how bad this is?" And he was like, "Yes." And then actually the night was going pretty well until guess what? Until we were gonna have sex, but then he got limp and I was dry, and then I was like, "Oh," like he was trying to force it anyway, like, "Oh, I could get lube, I might need this," and I was just like, "Hey, well, how about we just wait a bit and do something else and come back to this later? I think I need some more time to build arousal, I think we rushed into this." Then he threw his little piss baby tantrum and then got sulky, and then guess what? He tried to immediately go to bed and then just forced me to bed anyway, since like there was nowhere else to go at his place. It's a fucking one bedroom. And then on top of that, just the fucking nerve. The fucking nerve of him doing what he did, He promised me that if I was ever at his house, because he knows that a trigger to my breakdowns at his place is if I'm overstimulated. I was like, "Hey, if I'm ever like having breathing issues or like overheating at your place, I noticed that makes me 10 times more anxious than I usually would be if we are having difficulties. Is it okay if we open the window like at nighttime?" He was like, yeah, anytime you want, just let me know and I'll open the window a crack to let some air in. But then guess what happened? That night I was there and I was like, "Hey, is it okay if we're gonna go to sleep this early? Can we open the window a crack? I can't sleep otherwise if it's gonna be so hot in here," because his room is easily stuffy. This nigga gonna pull a Liam and be like, "Oh, well," and it's like, why are you making promises you can't keep? And then also just, yeah. So anyway, then I told him to take me home because literally what the fuck was I gonna do otherwise? And then another breakdown started happening. And it was getting really, really bad. Let's just say I was dissociating and he was seeing parts of me that I did not want him to see. And I don't know how much I want to share, but let's just say as messy as it got, maybe it's a blessing that it got messy. that I finally reached the point where I took that plan B and got nutted in, and next thing you know, what caused the fight, the one where I put my hands on Morgan, was a big fucking flood of memories of all the shit he's ever done to me, from the time where he saw me collapse on his fucking floor and just stared at me across the room, not trying to help me at all. That actually happened again the night we fought. And then, it was 6 to 16 different fucking memories over and over and over of him, getting mad at me for crying on his bed because then he'd have to wash a fucking pillow. Ooh. He has to wash a fucking pillowcase. Maybe you shouldn't have made me cry in the first place. Or me remembering that time he grabbed my wrist and it fucking hurt and I had to scream at him so many fucking times to get out of my apartment. Because otherwise he wouldn't. It's situations like these where, I'm sorry, sir, I don't put my hands on people often, but this is a man, and that is a situation. It should have ended a long time ago, but finally we had the big calamity that needed it to be dead, that needed it to be finished, and needed it to be gone. The only other 2 times that I actually seriously put my hands on somebody was that one racist ex I had who was definitely trying to hook up with his girl bestie. Fuck that ugly ass whore. And then aside from that, there was who was the other one? Oh yeah, that one other guy who was racist, transphobic, and also stalking his this escort that he fucked in the past, and trying to gaslight me and make me feel insecure because one second he'd say that he loved her and would never ever stop downloading her pictures every fucking day off of all of her social medias to keep in a folder, and tried to make me feel like I was the crazy one for it. Someone like me does not snap like that unless really fucking pushed. Really. Anyway, I'm almost done. But let's just say, funny enough, I've been so scared. I've been thinking, am I getting more corrupt with my personality? I've been doing so much bad. I've been stealing. I did one dine and dash with Morgan, also a bad thing to have done. Fuck Applebee's. I did a lot of not so great stuff. I did some really shit things. But, I don't know. Let's just say I want to be a nice, positive person. I don't want to be like a bad person. I don't want to be the type of person where even just talking about what I've been through during the last few weeks or months makes me feel disgusted with myself. Also, sorry to Applebee's. It was a shitty establishment. Everything about that place was not good. But let's just say, I want to be a good person. I want to be the type of bitch who wakes up in the morning and instead of spending several hours feeling bad because, oh no, why do I still want to talk to the abusive piece of shit who I should have left months ago? I want to wake up and be like, I'm so refreshed. My hair is done. My skin is nice. I have an easy time getting in the shower and taking care of myself. I have pleasant platonic friends who I enjoy my time with. I have a beautiful garden of succulents. I have fresh food in my house. I cook. I clean happily. I do witchy stuff and feel nice. I make my own perfumes and oils. I always have soft skin and just good shit, like sewing. Yeah, I was supposed to sew all day, but I couldn't because I was too fucking busy being depressed over a lame-ass, ugly-ass nigga. And I just want to be a good person. I had a nice day the other day. Ironically, a few days ago, during the break me and Morgan had, I decided to have a good day. And I opened the door for people who had wheelchair disabilities. I flirted, I complimented. I was sweet to people without expecting anything in return, just because I thought, I want to be like the younger me. Teenage me used to do that. I used to brush off insults and haters because I knew my life was abundant and quality enough. And I dressed in a cute outfit and a cute hairstyle, and I felt amazing, and life felt really sweet. And it just sucks that it's been only less than a day, or hell, only a few days. And it seems like I'm right back to square one, but at the same time, it's not square one. It's more like progress is a spiral, or where it's some days you go up the spiral, some days you go down, but you never truly lose progress. You're still moving one way or another. You could look, I don't know if that metaphor makes sense. I want to feel good, and I want to be a good, lovely person who, instead of doing bad to others, does good. And I think I finally got rid of the two bad influences that were actually like affecting me badly, that I thought were going to be good remedies. Because I think deep down, even if I know, oh, I could have used these men, I could have kept seeing Liam and Morgan without them knowing about each other, with them subconsciously knowing about each other. And I could have had them both clean my room on different opposing days. And then I could have bust down my room cleaning and done this and done that. And used them both for money and food until my life progress got amazing. Deep down, no offense, that's never worked with some people who are abusive as fuck. Because guess what? Sadly, I'm too good of a person to use people like that. I've only done it once, and that was when it was like 3 years of fucking abuse. I don't have it in me to do that shit to, like, even people who I know are super shitty to me, who haven't been shitty to me like all the fucking time, and have like good moments and redeemability, because deep down I know that I'm a good enough person, and I'm a lovely, sweet, kind, caring individual, and I never want anyone hurt. I just want to feel good, you know? I'm too good of a person to use others, even when I feel like maybe they deserve it, because deep down I know, no, they don't. And even if they do, I sadly can't allow myself to anyway. Even though Liam and Morgan did want to get used, but didn't want to feel used, I don't know. They had a weird combination of feelings where they wanted to be used but didn't. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, they wanted me to use them for food or money or to have a better life because they thought it would give them a chance of being monogamous with me or seeming like a high value character man. But at the same time, they didn't want to feel like a bank account. They just wanted to feel like a provider. They didn't want to feel like a security guard. They wanted to, or a scapegoat. They wanted to feel protective. I don't know. Does that make any sense? But deep down, all I could really see them as were assholes and wallets. And if I didn't see them as that, then I thought these were all men who I sincerely, truly loved so much. They hurt me so bad, and they still have, which is why, even now, I'm still probably not going to date anyone for a while. Because I love myself too much to let myself get hurt like this again, and to lose myself who don't deserve me, and never did. They showed it to me themselves, and I should have believed it, but I gave them another chance because I don't know. I had faith, but I should have had more faith in myself than I ever did in them. And sometimes if I ever think, oh, I should have had more faith in them because they tried their best with me, no, they didn't. Because if they were really trying their best, they would have never fucking hurt me. And if they were really trying their best, then I never feel so much doubt and resentment and disgust with them, you know? God bless me, man. Peace out.